Welcome to another episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
On this episode, we're packing up the bus and heading to Chesapeake to check out a couple of clients who needed a little inspiration to take their spaces to the next level.
First, we'll look at a mudroom and some close quarters that posed a bit of a challenge as a walk-through space.
Then we'll move over to another house to do what we do best and help a client reorganize 2 closets.
I don't know, Jeff. Once you see what we did with this mudroom, we might want to change our name to Mudroom Factory.
I don't know if that has the same ring to it.
We'll see.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
Hi, my name's Nancy Cruz. What brought me to this area, the United States Navy. This will be my 4th duty station. I'm stationed at Naval Air Station Oceana. I am married to a retired culinary specialist in the Navy, so we kept the family Navy. We have 4 beautiful children. We have 2 of our older children, the 27 and the 25-year-old, are still in Florida, which is where we met and got married. Our 2 younger children, the 14 and the 9-year-old, are here in this home with us, and they travel with us. We're here in the Deep Creek area, and they're starting to play sports, do all the things. We've been here since August of 2019 when we moved into this house, so we just had our 3rd year anniversary, which is really nice. And we are loving the area, and our family has really gotten to like, being in this area. In this particular house, the cool thing is my husband okayed for me to build from the ground up. All the open areas and stuff, I tried to maximize the space, trying to make it as move-in ready. I'm not gonna have to change this, not gonna have to change that. But I found out that once living with adults, I have an OCD for organization. And I like everything has its place and everything should be put in its place. But living with 3 other males in the house, because I have 2 boys and the husband, and me being the only female, you have to give men directions, very precise directions. Here, this is where it goes. Look at that, doesn't it look wonderful? Moving into this area, the cool thing about Culpeper Landing in 2019, they had Home-A-Rama. So we had 6 designer homes that were right in my backyard that I got to go around and actually look in, and I saw some of the most amazing work by all these different designers and stuff like that. But I saw some work that the Closet Factory had done, and I was like, oh yeah, that right there needs to be in my house. This will work perfect. It was 4 weekends. Every weekend I went and saw the houses, and I was taking notes every time so that it'd make it easier for the design process when I did actually call a designer from Closet Factory.
I'm Allison Strickland, designer with Closet Factory, and I'm here today because I met Nancy Cruz, who is actually one of my very favorite clients. I really like to work with a client that looks for aesthetics, but really needs help in the function, because when you have a space that needs organization, has a lot of different things that are going on, but if it's not going to function properly, you can have it the most beautiful thing in the world, but who's gonna care? Right? Who's gonna care if it's pretty and it doesn't work for you? And Nancy really needed it to function, and she's so much fun to work with.
I got the perfect designer matched up personality-wise. She heard me when I was saying, the things that I would want to do in the space.
So in working with Nancy, she has this mudroom space that she wanted to have done. It's a very narrow space, and there were a lot of issues going on there. It's the entryway, right? So when people are coming in through the garage, which is where the family enters pretty much on a daily basis, it's a drop zone. People are dropping the items there. They have all these odds and ends. Cleaning products get put there. And she kind of had a makeshift space. She was putting together some different things, trying to do everything on her own. So she already had a really solid idea of how she wanted that space to function, which is great to be able to work with someone that really knows how they want to put everything together. In designing Nancy's space, this is her overall mudroom space, and as you can see, it's such a narrow area, and she has so many doors. So again, clearance is always an issue. We have a door at the end, we have a door coming here from entry, we have a door over here, and then a door going into the other room. So really, in a space like this, you always want to think about being able to walk from one point to another in clearance. And of course, we want it to function. So when we were working on Nancy's design on this entire wall, really she knew she wanted doors. So we created this space that's going to work in so many different ways. A space over here for Nancy's shoes, the space that originally was going to function as a garbage can, and now actually, hey, it's an area for tools. And then we have all kinds of these beautiful raised cabinets that are over here, little drop zone area. And then it was really important for Nancy to separate kind of where her really utilitarian type of areas are from more of those really super pretty spaces. So she also has this lovely area over here in which she's putting brooms and ladders and all of those tall things, and can still put cleaning products, so that it really works in the best way that she possibly can make it look. And again, making that space into not only function the way that you want it to function, but ends up looking exactly the way that you want it to look, always a good thing.
After being in the house and seeing the space, she invited me out she was like, I really want you to come out to the design room. Of course, I was like, yay, I know where Closet Factory Design is. And to see all the fixtures and to see the other things that they had designed and maybe get some additional ideas from there. And having the design area there to actually see it in person and be like, do you think this would actually work? Because what I did was to take a laundry basket and make that into, now it's my tool basket, because I'm the engineer in the house, so I'm the one that has all the tools. So, and you pull it open and it's right there for you. So it was really nice to actually be able to see everything, touch it, see if it's gonna match, see what it's actually gonna feel like in there to get ready for that area to be prepped and designed.
Most of us have a very difficult time visualizing everything. So when you walk into the showroom, it really gives you the full picture. You're able to see things like, this is what an accent top looks like, this is what base trim looks like, this is how this functions, this is how far this sticks out from the wall. If you have something hanging, this is what it's going to look like. And it truly helps the vast majority of people. Not only that, you get to see an amazing amount of selections. This is when things can get a little crazy, because if it comes to hardware, it's like jewelry. There's so many options, but it really helps narrow down as to what it is that you're trying to achieve in the way that it looks.
So install day came, and Isaac came, and he came in through the garage, which was exactly where he needed to be in my house, because that's where the mudroom was. It was so amazing. Because if anything, I just took a chair at the table and was like, okay, I'm gonna see what he actually does. And he was just moving. It was like a ninja putting together furniture. Now that it's done, it looks like it was always there when the house was built. It doesn't look like it was an add-on or an afterthought or anything. That it's so perfectly done. It just blends with the rest of the house. Closet Factory came in, put it in, and it looks like my house was already this way. That's what I love. Going in and actually seeing oh my God, now all of the stuff that I had stuffed in nooks and crannies in other places in the house now actually have a home in the place where they should have a home, that I just couldn't buy enough stuff to actually make it work. Knowing that what I designed and what me and Allison designed on paper came to life, and it actually fits all of the things that I had in my mind that fit in there, amazing. And the little shelf, a drop zone, Oh my God, everybody was always throwing stuff different places and everything. Now it actually has a home. Like my keys have a home. The one thing to get my husband to do is to leave the keys downstairs so you're not rummaging in the morning to find your keys. Now it's like he comes in and he just drops them and I've been trying for 2 years to find and to put in a place to put your keys. I needed to build a place. Now he actually has a drop zone. He sees it and he's like, okay, keys go here. And he moves on. It's amazing. It's amazing. Just the little things.
It's great. It's one of my favorite things to be able to help someone achieve what it is they're wanting to achieve, because this is something that they use in their everyday lives. This is something that really makes a big difference in someone's daily life, and she is thrilled to death.
You know, once it was done, I had sent pictures to Allison and told her, I was like, yeah, and I got some other projects that I already have your name on to work on, and I'm looking forward to the other projects that we're gonna do in this house, like my closet, upstairs, the bathrooms. I need to change some more functionality into the bathrooms and stuff like that. This house is going to be amazing, like one of the designer homes once I'm done with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again for my next Closet Factory project. Season 2, it'll be in me.
I'm telling you, what Allison did with that mudroom was nothing short of amazing. I mean, it was so good, I might have to talk to Jeff again about a possible name change. Now let's head over to a different part of Chesapeake to see what Nancy did to help her client reorganize his and her walk-in closets.
I'm Britt. My family and I just moved to Virginia. We relocated here from New Jersey. We moved for my husband's work, and we're really excited to be here because it's an area that really feels like home to us. We moved into a new build home that we are slowly making into ours. When we were searching for a home upon moving here, we really wanted a new build house so that, as I mentioned, we could make it into ours and make it something that reflected our style as well as was usable, functional for our lifestyle. We have 2 small children. They're into everything, so we really want things to be organized easily and put back away easily, as well as out of reach. That's an important thing too. So closets were a really important factor when we were designing the home, and we wanted to make sure we had enough space for both my clothes, which as you can imagine, I have far more than my husband. We actually designed 2 separate closets. So my husband has his own walk-in closet and I have my own walk-in closet, but as our designer pointed out, my closet really morphed more into a dressing room, and that was by design. So we got quotes in the area for different custom closets and really loved our designer, and that was a big factor of why we ultimately chose Closet Factory. So we used Closet Factory for both closets, had the same designer and the same installer for both. They were fantastic. We really had a wonderful experience with both of them. The process really was, after Nancy and I met, I described, my vision for the 2 separate rooms, and she allowed me to take the lead in that way while also providing her expertise, her input with her years of experience about what would work better, what might not work. And I was really grateful for that because I think there were several things that I had originally envisioned that now that the closets have been installed, I realized really wouldn't have worked. So I was grateful for that partnership. After we had that initial meeting and Nancy got like I said, that end goal, that dream closet down, she actually made an appointment to come here. She took measurements of everything from, the height of the ceilings, placement of light switches and outlets. She really tried to incorporate a few difficult spots that we needed to design around. So after that, she put everything into a CAD drawing. And bless her heart, I appreciate her patience. We went through a few revisions. And again, I really appreciate that she was so engaged throughout the process, willing to make those revisions. So once we signed off on the final drawings, it was just waiting for the install. So I actually took my husband to the Closet Factory site, and it was really helpful because we were able to see not just the finishes, but also different designs, layouts of closets, different accessories that you can put in. And I got so many great ideas. Again, I had come with sort of a vision of what I wanted, but I was able to really draw from the showroom and what models were out there. So for example, I hadn't originally cared that much about putting lighting in my closet. I have 2 windows that have lots of great east-facing light and lots of overhead lighting that we had designed during the build of our house. But when I saw how much the lighting really brought to the models, it was something that I knew I had to incorporate in my closet, and honestly wish I had put in my husband's closet as well. So the showroom was fantastic. Again, not just for seeing the options that were available, but for closets, but also seeing that you can do so much more with Closet Factory besides closets. You really can design a library or a media room or your pantry, and I'm excited to see what other projects we'll come up with next. So after we finalized the design, Nancy actually got us on the install schedule, and thankfully our closets actually occurred on 2 separate install dates, which worked great from an organizational perspective, just being able to put things away. So our installer was Ryan. He was just as professional and engaging as Nancy, and I really appreciate that level of professionalism from Closet Factories. When he came, I was honestly surprised it was just him. I thought, where's the rest of the team? But he actually installed not just my husband's closet by himself, but my closet, which is a little bit more involved. We had just freshly painted both closets, and I know he took extra care not to damage the paint as well. I actually teased my husband the first time that we custom designed a closet. He thought it was an unnecessary expense. And now I tease him that he's been converted, because one of the first things he asked about when moving to this house was, when are we installing our closets? So the day of the install, I know he was extra excited to be able not just to put his things away, but to have them displayed in a nice way, as well as easily reachable, so that when he gets ready for work or comes home from work and needs to put his things away, the closet's designed to fit that flow of our household. So in my husband's closet, we have a double hamper that we have one side for dirty clothes, one side for dry cleaning. It makes it easy to just grab the bag and go, take it to the dry cleaners. We don't have a separate hamper. It's out of sight, it's clean, it's streamlined. We also have 2 tie racks that my husband can use to put away his ties right next to his button-up shirts. So coordinating clothing for the week is easy. We have valet rods that we can set out suits, for example, when he's taking a trip to go to a conference, we can use those to pack. So it's a beautifully designed closet. When you first open the double doors to his closet to look in, you see a really lovely floor to ceiling display unit or a tower. And we love being able to hide away some of those bulkier items that might not display as nicely. We also have extra shelving for sweaters or shoes so that we can change out with the seasons. And ultimately, we're really happy with the way that it turned out, being able to put everything away, not just have it stored in boxes or on a wire shelf that really doesn't fit our needs. For my closet, we went a little more extravagant with the design. So I have an island in the middle that we actually designed to be dual purpose. So I have 2 sets of drawers where I can easily reach things like socks, undershirts for the day. On the other side is a vanity where I can do my makeup, do my hair while seated. So it's, as I mentioned before, really more of a dressing room. It's a place where I can start off the day with getting ready for work and do everything I need to do within that one room. So I have as well a tower that's floor to ceiling between my 2 windows. I use it to store my jewelry, any extra, I guess I could say formal clothes in the drawers below. When you open the doors on the top, there is a sensor that allows the lights to come on without you having to ever flip a switch. So it's really lovely, thoughtfully designed. I love having everything so beautifully displayed. I would say my favorite part, besides just being able to unpack my clothes and display them beautifully, is just how functional it is. I really think Nancy went above and beyond designing the closet with me. So we actually put in 2 extra deep drawers beneath the windows where we can store off-season clothing. So that's something I really needed, and I just love being able to walk in every day and, so quickly access what I need, get ready for my day and be out the door. As a mom of 2 young kids, that's something that's extra important to me. And especially keeping things so out of their reach. Overall, I was so impressed with my interactions with everybody at Closet Factory. The level of commitment, engagement, and professionalism from every single person I encountered, I think is really above and beyond. And that's whether I was calling back to the front desk to ask if I could get samples so that I could color match with the paint that we were going to use in the closet, to ringing Nancy back and saying, hey, I actually need an extra shelf. Is that something you can get to me? She said, absolutely. Or coordinating with Ryan to adjust the shelving from the original design. So I can't recommend Closet Factory enough. I'm excited to call Nancy back and see what other projects we can work on for the future as we continue to make our home ours.
That'll do it for another episode of Mudroom Factories.
We talked about this.
Just kidding. Closet Factories, Operation Reorganization.
That's better, but she's not wrong. As you saw, we can help reorganize any space, whether it be a master closet, a home office, or even that pass-through space off the garage. Give us a call and see what we can do for you.
See you next time.